In this nitty-gritty Let's Play live stream, we're going to be talking about the art of ham development And then we're going to play some games at Mahjong time. I just want to give a quick shout out to moderators who will be helping moderate chat. And I just want to say thank you for coming to the Nitty-Gritty Let's Play live stream. Welcome. I just have to make a quick tweak. Oh, we have a new member, Dazzling Dana. Welcome, Dana. Thanks for joining as a member. I really appreciate the support. I just have to make a super quick update on the presentation, last minute tweak. And then this is a pretty short presentation, but I think it's going to help. I think it'll be really helpful for a lot of people. So I hope you'll bear with me for just a minute. Oh, why does this keep doing this? Let's see here. 1 second. How's everyone doing tonight? Let's see. I think I'm going to do a quick change here so we can move forward. Kind of making a change on the fly here. So this is what we're going to be talking about, is building a hand. And here we go. This is kind of along the lines of Tom Sloper's strategy by wall. So I was just putting in a little bit of a visual on what that means, because some of you might be new to the concept. So I'm going to go ahead and start my slideshow, and then I'll share my screen and we'll get started. All right, can everybody see the screen? The art of hand development. Hi, Lana. Hi, JL. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Sue. Dana, welcome, welcome. All right, let's get started. So this is going to be all about developing a hand. And there is an art to it. If you understand the process and settle into the concepts, it'll be a much easier process. And this process is going to be based on the wall in play. So if you think about a table where you have your racks and the tiles are lined up in front of the racks, 4 walls. The first wall is used when the tiles are being dealt. So this would be part of the begin game, when you're dealing the tiles and getting your initially dealt hand. Once the tiles have been dealt, you're going to be left with a short wall. Now, incidentally, these walls have no break in the wall. They're the full wall. When you're playing in a live game, you're going to roll the dice to break the wall. So you need to visualize the length of a wall, which is 40 stacks. So the begin game is the deal, and then the Charleston. So you're going to see that short wall. That would be the begin game. The middle game is with the third wall. So this is going to be after the Charleston, and then you're going to pick through that first or the second wall. The first wall goes away with dealing. The second wall is going to be short. Once you pick through that wall, then you're in the middle game. So the third wall. The end game is with the fourth wall. Let me just quickly stop sharing my screen really quick here. Okay. So, oops. Hold on 1 second here. Paste there, fourth wall. Okay, so now we have begin, middle, and end. Begin, middle, and end game. So let me just organize these super quick so it's not confusing as we go. Okay, so here we've got that out of there. Bear with me for just another minute. Middle game is there. Don't mind the man behind the curtain. Middle game. Almost done. Begin game. I just had this thought of updating this at the last minute, of course, but I think it's going to really be helpful. So we're going to start from strategy by wall. Here we go. All right. I'll share my screen again. Hopefully this will be understandable now. All right, here we go. Yes, that was Riley tapping along. Dave is going to be putting him in the back room. Okay, so here's the strategy by wall. Just to circle back, I know that was a little confusing at first, so please forgive me for that. So we have the begin game, which is the first wall. That's where the tiles are dealt. Then it goes up to that short wall. So while you're doing the Charleston, you have a short wall in front of East. Those would be the begin game, that process. The middle game is the third wall, and then the end game is the fourth wall, and that would be pushed out. So this concept is based on those phases of the game. Begin game, the first two walls, middle game, the third wall, and then end game, the fourth wall. So as you're developing your hand, you're going to go through 4 stages. And there is some ebb and flow or back and forth. You can reverse depending on what happens at the table. So keep that in mind as we go, and we'll talk a little more about that as we go too. So the first stage is the target stage. You're going to look at your dealt hand and you're going to target the strength of the hand. So target is the first stage. Then you're going to gather. After you gather, you're going to build. And then after you build, you'll defend. Target, gather, build, defend. Those are the 4 stages of hand development. Along the way, you're going to be faced with a decision, a moment where you have to make a choice. So you're going to analyze whatever the situation, depending on where you are in these stages. Analyze the situation. You're going to identify alternatives. You're going to consider your choices, and then you're going to decide. So that's the process, any part through these stages: target, gather, build, defend. And now we're going to talk about each one of them. So in the begin game, this is when you're going to target. American Mahjong is a game of multiples. Build around multiples. 86% of the hands on the card use pungs, kongs, and quints, of course, if you have jokers. So with that number of hands as options, if you build around multiples, you're going to optimize your potential to complete your hand. If you don't have multiples, you're going to target the predominant pattern and build around the predominant pattern. And when I talk about building or gathering, you're going to hold tiles that support the strength, whether it's the multiples or the predominant pattern. Focus on a category that uses the strength of the hand with the supporting tiles. Then play at the category level as long as possible. Keep supporting tiles regardless of the suit. This is the gathering stage. You're just gathering. You really don't even have to look at the card until you have to narrow down your choices. Narrow down the category or hand options based on the strength to identify more discards. Once you identify discards, you can just stop the analysis. During the Charleston, you only need 3 tiles to pass. So you only need to identify 3. So don't feel like you have to drill deeper when you have more than 3 tiles that you know that you don't need. Just identify those 3 and then move the Charleston along, and then continue the analysis or the decision making as you get your other incoming passes. Here's what you want to consider when you're faced with a decision in the gather stage. The internal variables that you want to consider are gaps, and that would be missing blocks. So for example, let's say that you're thinking about playing a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. Let's say you have 2, 4, 8, but no 6. That would be an entire block where you have no representation. That would be a gap. 2, 4, 6, 8 without 6s would be a gap. You also want to consider weaknesses. So let's say that you're thinking about playing a hand or a category where there are lots of singles and pairs. If you need a pair and you have singles, that's a weakness. Or if you need a pung and you have singles, that would be weakness. So as you're considering your choices and whittling down your options, think about gaps and weaknesses. You want to go with strength. Also, you want to, once you get to the pick and discard phase of the game, so you're still doing a little bit of gathering after the Charleston, really the begin game with that short wall going into the middle game, you're also going to be looking at exposures and discards to help you with your decision making. If you're, for example, playing, let's say you're thinking that maybe you're going to play a year hand. 2022 is where we are at the time of this presentation. And let's say somebody has a Kong or a pung of 2s. Well, that's really going to affect your ability to build a year hand. You might consider switching to 2, 4, 6, 8, where you have more 4, 6, 8, or maybe even switch to consecutive run 2, 3, 4, 5, or something like that, or maybe even like numbers instead of building around the 2s when somebody else is vying for those tiles. So think about the exposures and the discards. So you have internal variables, gaps and weaknesses, and then you have external variables, which are the exposures and discards. As tiles are being discarded, those are variables that you also want to consider as you're gathering tiles to support the strength of your hand. When you are in the pick and discard phase of the game, you may have an opportunity to make an exchange for a joker. Someone will have an exposure with a joker and you have the natural tile. This is a rule that you want to think about before you make that exchange, because it could require a commitment. Once you make an exposure, you're going to further commit to a particular category or hand, especially if you have 2 exposures or more. So with this rule, you just want to really slow down and think about it for a minute. And it's okay to say, wait. The commitment to a joker exchange occurs after a player's requested a joker exchange and the joker has left the other player's rack. At that point, it's a done deal and you can't change your mind. So as you're making that exchange, make sure you're ready to commit, because every exposure is going to further commit you to a particular category or hand. And then you're going to be more in the build stage. So once you start making those exposures, you're starting to commit to a category or a hand. This is where we're typically going to be in the middle game, the third wall. And that's where you build. Typically, you're going to know what hand you're playing by that end of the second wall going into the third wall. You should know at least what category you're playing, if not maybe some hand options. This is where you're going to hopefully start building. And it can happen anywhere in that wall. Each exposure is going to deepen your commitment to a hand. Keep supporting tiles regardless of suit. You're still gathering. You see, when you're in the gather mode, moving into build, you could still be gathering and building at the same time. It's a stage that flows into each other. It's like a phased process. So you could still be gathering and building. Keep supporting tiles regardless of suit. Narrow the category or hands based on the strength to further identify discards. Once you identify a discard, you can kind of stop that analysis to move the game along. What you want to consider are the same internal variables and external variables. Those are the same. Look at your gaps in your hand if you have any, and weaknesses, and then also look at exposures and discards to help you make your decisions, especially when it comes to making an exposure. So if, for example, I'm playing a consecutive run hand where I need a pair or two pair, and I only have singles for those two pair, I probably won't make an exposure until I have at least one of those pairs in my hand. Because if I make that exposure, that'll most likely lock me into that hand with not too many options for change. And then I'm sitting there with two single tiles. If someone puts a pung out for one of my pair tiles, then I'm going to be in trouble, and I'm going to have to switch my hand and use that exposure out and use the rest of my concealed tiles to try to switch gears. So always think about the internal variables and those external variables as you're deciding to claim a discard to make an exposure. Also, claim a discard when you know what hand you're playing and you have no gaps. Again, be mindful of your weaknesses especially, and then also what is out, especially if you need pairs or even a single. Here are a couple of rules that you want to consider while you're building your hand. Commitment to picking a tile from the wall. If a player reaches to pick a tile from the wall, they can change their mind and claim the previous discard. But if they touch the tile and move it in any way, they are committed to taking that tile. This game is created with rules that foster intention in players. So each player needs to be mindful of their choices and decisions. So if you reach to take a pick in the wall and you move that tile, you're intending to pick it, and if it moves, you've got to take it because you have made that intention known. If you're just reaching and change your mind, that's okay because you haven't touched the tile or you haven't moved the tile, at which point you would have to take it. So that's a rule. Another rule is a commitment to a discard that you have to keep in mind as you're building. When a player discards a tile and it touches the table or that player names it fully, they must discard the tile. So as you're building your hand and you're discarding, make sure that you're ready to discard that tile. If you change your mind before you say it fully or it touches that table, you can pull it back and discard something different. Also, the commitment to claiming a discard with exposures. A player is committed to using a discard when they either place the discard on the flat part of their rack or they expose tiles from their hand. Either one of those is going to commit you to that exposure. Since the player exposed tiles from the hand, they must use the called tile in an exposure and then discard. And then they have to make it work. If it was maybe a commitment done too early, maybe they jumped the gun a bit, they would have to rearrange the rest of their concealed tiles to make that exposure work. So just remember, if you claim a discard and you commit to making an exposure, you want to check the variables before you either take that claim discard and have it on the flat part of your rack or expose tiles from your hand. Keep in mind those weaknesses and gaps, and then also discards and exposures that are out. Internal variables and external variables. And finally, the commitment to claiming a discard without racking. This does occur sometimes. A commitment to a called tile occurs when a player either exposes tiles on the flat part of their rack or they place the called tile on the flat part of their rack. So it's similar to what is before, where if someone claims a discard and they don't rack it, there's a commitment there. Anytime it touches the rack, that's where a player is committed. Let's see. Okay, so I just want to mention, when you're building your hand, you're developing your hand through these different phases and stages, it can stop and restart. So for example, let's say that you're playing and somebody has an exposure that sabotages your plan and you're going to need to make a switch, then you're going to reassess completely and target the strength of whatever's remaining, including whatever exposures you might have. So you may be forced to go back and target a new strength so that you can then gather and build with something different. So just keep that in mind, that you could have to go back a few stages depending on what happens at the table. You're going to analyze the situation, identify alternatives, consider the choices, and then make a decision and move forward through those stages. Target, gather, build. In the end game, you're going to defend. This is usually, you want to start thinking about defense about the middle of the middle game. Here, you want to play to win or fold. You have to make that decision. Either way, you're going to assess the risk of your discards. Gather intel by surveying the table. This is where you're looking at the visible tiles, exposures, and discards. The first thing that you want to think about when you're deciding whether or not you want to play to win or fold is going to be the number of picks that remain in the wall, the number of your winning tile in exposures, or maybe that have been discarded. Also consider, if you know what likely hand your opponent is playing, maybe you have one or more of their tiles, whether or not you want to discard them, you've got to think about that. And also the value of your opponent's likely hand. Now, when you're thinking about the number of picks that remain in the wall, compare that to the number of discards you have in your hand. Let's say that there are 6 discards or 6 tiles that you hopefully will have access to, 6 more picks. And let's say that you have 4 discards. I would say you should play to win. But if you have 3 more picks and 4 discards in your hand, there's probably no way that you're going to win. So you should fold and then play defensively and discard it as safely as possible. So think about this intel and compare it to how many tiles you have left to discard, because that's really the litmus of how much further you need to build your hand still. Compare those things in order to make that decision on whether or not you want to play to win or fold. You still want to assess along the way, really every pick and discard in the end game. You got to think about that. If your hand is of equal or greater value, and if your potential to win is greater than that of your opponent, so we're thinking about our opponents and maybe where they are, we're trying to assess their own hand development based on what you can see. You can, if you decide to play to win, discard freely. And then, of course, you got to accept the consequences if somebody else wins. But you want to discard freely if you're going to play to win. Otherwise, break up your hand and discard safely if you're going to fold. Regardless, decide and accept the consequences with gentility. Be humble and accept those consequences. If somebody else wins, give them their kudos, and then take your lessons learned on to the next game. I have lots of strategies in the wiki. So if you want more strategies like these, check out the wiki. And we're going to go play some Mahjong now. Does anybody have any questions about the art of hand development? Target, gather, build, defend. Target, gather, build, defend. Let's see here. I have a question here. How does a person expose on rack before drawing or calling, since their turn doesn't start until they draw or use a tile? So let's see. How does a person expose? Some people will expose their tiles before they take the called tile and put it on their rack. The order is not, the order of that process is not a rule. You can make you can take tiles from, if you say you want to call a discard and make a pung, you could put 2 tiles from your rack on the flat part of your rack and then take the discard and add to it. Or you can take the discard and put it on the flat part of your rack and then add the 2 tiles from your hand. That order is not a rule. Did I answer your question, Karen, correctly there? Your turn starts when you pick a tile from the wall, because you have to take a tile if it's moved, or when you call a tile, a discarded tile, and you place it on your rack, or you expose tiles. Okay. Any other questions? And we'll get to playing Mahjong. I'm going to open up Mahjong time and we'll get to some games. And hopefully we'll get to demonstrate target, gather, build, defend. And again, that's based on strategy by wall. So we're going to be talking about strategy by wall. And I have a presentation and demonstration on strategy by wall. If you just search my YouTube channel, you'll find videos on that strategy. So let me share my screen. All right, can everybody see the screen for Mahjong time? Let's go ahead and join here. I don't know what, I'm confused. Oh no, shoot. We just joined a marathon. How did that happen? Oh no, I can't leave either. This is a tournament table. Oh no, I think we're locked in. I did not mean to do that. What in the heck? Okay, we're, that was strange. I thought I joined this right here. Oh no, we have to play it out. Darn it. All right, we're playing, oh shoot, and I just missed that first pass. All right, that's okay, can't back out. It's okay, onward, we're gonna play it. So we passed 2 8s, which is unfortunate, but look at these dragons. We have 9s, so we're gonna build around 9s, or maybe we could, oh shoot. Now the game is discarding for me. Hold on. I'm going to exit and come back, return. Hopefully the game will realize that I'm back. Darn it, it just took a 9. Okay, so we're going to now try for news concealed at this point, or maybe the pair hand. And I'm going to try to discard quickly here. Okay, hopefully it will, okay, yes. Hopefully it'll realize that I'm at the table now. This might happen to you at times. You just want to exit and come back so the game knows you're there. We're maybe going to play a pair hand. Let's hope this works out in our favor. So we did send 2 like numbers. We sent like numbers with 8s inadvertently there because I did not realize I was at that table. Okay, so here we go. I think the game knows we're at the table now. All right. So we're going to play 4 games. We're not going to be able to do an analysis after the game. We're just going to go right into a new game. Okay, so now we have pair. Oh, shoot. The game thinks we're not here again. Hopefully it will realize that we're here. and it won't take our tiles. I don't know. I wish there was some kind of a button for us to click that says we're here. We're present at the table. So for some reason, the game thinks we're not here still. I'm going to exit and come back again. It should know that we're at the table at this point. Okay, we don't need east. Okay, so we just did that pass. So I don't know why it took our tiles. Okay, whatever. So I just feel like I'm in an alternate universe because look at these tiles. Are we really at a real table? We are. Okay, now we're at optional cross. We have 3 tiles. I'm just going to say 3 because I don't want the game to take our tiles. It better not take our tiles. I'll be mad. Auto pass. It's still saying auto. I don't understand this. Okay. We're at the table. We are not auto. Okay, we are going to try to play a pair
9
hand.
characters.
We're building around our strength,
Red
which
dragon.
are these pairs. We've got no gaps. We're going to pass. We're playing the news pair hand.
2 bamboos.
It took a different
6
east.
characters.
It took a different east. Okay.
Kong.
All right.
3 bamboos.
So we have 2 discards to a
5
pair hand.
characters.
We got to watch these winds that go
7
down.
bamboos.
Let's hope that we draw them.
6 bamboos.
I think the game knows we're here.
7
We're here
dots.
now. So we're going to be playing 4 games in a row.
6 bamboos.
This will take about an hour, actually.
1 bamboo.
I did not intend that, but we're going to make it work.
9 bamboos.
Oh, I'll go full screen.
Green dragon.
Pass.
3 bamboos.
Okay, we're moving forward.
3 characters.
Okay, we need wins.
3 bamboos. Flower.
We need north, west, south. We have the dragons we need.
Pung.
No winds are down, which is a bit of a
4
concern.
dots.
The player on our left could be playing winds. The other 2 players might be, they could be playing news with
West
like
wind.
numbers. Maybe there goes the first wind.
2 characters.
So we got to keep an eye on that. We might need to switch
East
to,
wind.
we're good there with a pair. We might need to switch to all dragons, second hand from the top,
7
under winds.
bamboos.
And that would be leveraging 3 pair. So
South wind.
we are already in the
7
build
characters.
stage because we have no gaps and we know what hand we're
9
playing.
characters.
So even though we're in the middle game now, we're going into the middle game, the third wall, we're in the build mode because we have
2 dots.
no gaps for a particular hand.
1
Now we
dot.
have weaknesses. We need north, west, and
2
south.
bamboos.
But that is typical
South wind.
when you're playing. That's one of our tiles, and there's a hesitation there. I think the player on our left might be in winds. 2 souths are out.
2 bamboos.
So we need to keep an eye on that.
7 characters.
We may need to circle back
1
and
dot.
target our dragons and
4
start
characters.
over with our gathering, because then we're going to need
1
flowers
character.
for that all dragon hand.
5 characters.
So right now we're building for this pair hand.
8
We're 1
characters.
away. We have an extra green dragon. If we can get
8
a west or a
characters.
south, we'll be able to get ready on this pair hand. We need that south.
2 dots.
That is our greatest weakness right now because there are 2 out.
6 bamboos.
White dragon. Okay, now this is where I would think about switching to that dragon hand, but we're so close and we have no flowers.
White
We have a gap.
dragon.
Do
1
you remember
character.
when I was talking about gathering? You got to
One
consider
bamboo.
both gathering and building. You got to consider gaps. We have no flowers.
8
That's a big
bamboos.
gap. For that dragon hand, that's a pung gap. So that's why I discarded that white
Kong.
dragon. There's the player who had the 8s.
9
So we're
dots.
still hoping to draw south out of that wall. That would be the ideal pick.
South wind.
Oh, shoot. Okay, now we retarget because our south went down. So we're going to target the dragons and we're going to let's see, we can let the 1 crack go. Here,
1
what we
character.
probably could switch to instead
1
of the
bamboo.
dragon hand, because we have no flowers, we can switch to news concealed. We have
4 bamboos.
our singles with the east and west. We
Huh.
have a multiple with the north.
4 characters.
So I think the concealed hand is probably ideal for us. We're going to need
7
jokers
dots.
for the south. So we're going to be at the build stage. We don't need
7
to gather
characters.
so much because we have no gaps for that hand. We're going to be building.
Kong.
So we're still,
5 dots.
we are probably still a contender,
Kong.
but everybody has
7
exposure.
dots.
So everyone is in the build stage of their
9 characters.
hand development.
6 dots.
So this is going to be an interesting game as
2
we go.
bamboos.
So
2
we do not need the
characters.
east. What we want in here, let's see, no, 9 bam. I think they're, let's see, 1 is out. Let's discard the 9 bam.
9 bamboos.
The player to our right is playing 4, 5, 6, 7. They
3
need
bamboos.
5 bam. The player across from us might be playing 2, 4, 6, 8. They have 2
9
2s in front of them
bamboos.
though. No,
9
2 dots
dots.
or 2 bams are out. So they must be playing like numbers with 8s and 6 flowers
East wind.
because the 2 bams are out.
7 bamboos.
So my guess is they're playing like numbers with 8s and 6 flowers. The player
9
on the
dots.
left, 4, 5 in 1 suit. They could be playing pung kong.
4 characters.
Okay, 8 crack. Ooh, ooh. Let's let this, oh, I'm going to let this go now.
8 characters.
Oh, so they must need
4
dots.
dots.
8 dots. That was a little bit scary. Okay, so we have a winner. 3, 4, let's see, 3, 4, 5 Kongs. So here we have 4, 5, 6, 7 pung Kong. To the right, like numbers with 8s, and across from us, 3, 4, 5 1 suit Kongs. And then, of course, here we were trying for the pair hand, and then we switched to news concealed. Okay, now this is strange. I thought this said it was a marathon. Now we're in a regular game. I'm really confused at the moment. It said marathon. That is so, what in the world is going on here? I don't know what is going on. We're just going to try to move on. This is very strange. We're just going to join here. I think, hold on a second. We're going to leave here and we're going to go, I don't play in marathons. Let's just join here. You're about to join a marathon table and you play multiple seats with the same people. There are consequences if you leave. I don't play marathons, so I'm not worried about that. So it thinks we're in this game. I think we're just going to let it go. I mean, that does affect their game a bit because a robot takes our place. Oh, thank you, Sue. Let's see here. Where is it? Join. It's right here. I wonder if we should join that table and try to finish the marathon. All right, let's just join it and see what happens. Oh, the profile is temporarily suspended. Okay, fine. This is so strange because it said end, it said new game. I'm so confused right now. If you leave a marathon table, you are, this is really, really confusing here. And now it's like stuck. I really don't know what's going on here. Okay, we're just gonna move on. I don't play marathons, so the penalty won't affect me. But if you join a marathon table and leave, you'll be banned from marathons for 72 hours. It doesn't bother me, but I do feel bad because those people are playing with a robot. Well, the idea is that those other players are committed to playing 4 hands. And if you leave, it affects the game because a robot takes over, and robots are not smart on this platform. So the robot is playing for 1 hand from the beginning of their hand, and it could sort of sabotage your hand. And so it's not good to leave a marathon. I just really didn't realize I was in a marathon table. It didn't appear to be a marathon table. Anyway, let's just move on. Hopefully people will join. This is a quick mahjong, I hope. Now I'm kind of paranoid. Let's see here. We have to wait for people to join our table. System waiting, settings, quick mahjong. All right, so we are at the right kind of table here. A quick table. Let's hope that someone joins our table here. Thank you all for coming to this Nitty-Gritty Let's Play live stream. If you missed the presentation at the beginning, you'll be able to watch the repost about an hour after this session. And I hope that you find it helpful. We're focusing on target, gather, build, defend. 4 stages in hand development. And that is based on strategy by wall. It's a wonderful strategy. The idea of strategy by wall was named by Tom Sloper. The concept was named initially by Tom Sloper, and I kind of adopted it and made it my own. So I think it's a wonderful strategy, but we want to give the original creator of that strategy credit, Tom Sloper, Sloperama. All right, we have a joker, 4, 5, 7 in bams, pair 5, 1, 3 in cracks, 3, 5, 6 in dots, white dragon, north and south. So we're going to target the 5 bam. That's where we're going to start. 5 bam. Then we're going to gather as many tiles as we can and play a category that uses most of our tiles that support the 5 bam pair. So we're going to keep the 4 for maybe consecutive run. 3s will be good. The 5 and a 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, or 4, 5, 6, 7. We can also maybe play 1, 3, 5. That leaves us with north, south, white. I would not pass this. So probably I would let the 7 go, maybe keep a wind and let's see, 4, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5. I typically don't pass white dragons. I think what I would do here is let a 6 go and maybe play a little odd hand, probably little odds. Let's just see how this develops. We have a 4. So right now, the predominant pattern in here is 3, 4, 5, 6. We do have odds though. 1, 3, 5. Here we have 3, 4, 3, 5, 4, 5, or 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. We could even switch to like numbers with 5s. I think what I would do is probably let go of the 4 and a 1 and still hold little odd potential or like number potential. We keep getting wins. So here's where if you see a sort of pattern developing, 2 players are sending us wins. One thing we could do is now hoard wins and maybe try to switch to like numbers with 5s and use those wins that hopefully will continue to come around. So let's just see how that goes. Now we do have a hand in here, 1, 3 crack, 3, 5 dot, but our multiple is with the 5 bam. So I think we should maybe pass, let's pass 2, 3, 4. This is a little bit risky, but we've got to gather tiles to support our multiple. We're targeting the 5 and we're trying to gather tiles for the 5. So now we almost have news. We're going to keep going. Okay, now the player across from us stopped the Charleston. So we're not going to pass to them. We're going to stick with what we have. We could either play news with 5s or like numbers with 5s and dragons. They want 3 tiles. They stopped the Charleston and they want 3 tiles. So we're going to say no. Now, some people might disagree with that. If you disagree with that, write #cringe in the comment section or in chat. This is a strategy
6
that
dots.
basically
East wind.
assumes that they are probably close to their winning hand. Now, they could be between hands and just can't decide. That could also be. But I would rather err on the
1
side of
character.
caution. So at this point, we have like numbers with 5s in news. We need a
8
north in here, though.
characters.
We need a north.
6 characters.
So that's a gap. We need to
3
consider that
characters.
as we gather. We're going to pass. We have a south now. All right. So here we have a new
3
strength.
characters.
We can target the south by focusing now on
North
the
wind.
5 bam, which is another multiple, the dragon, and try for a quint. We're going to try to play a quint now.
North
And that would be
wind.
targeting the strength of the
9
hand.
bamboos.
We could still maybe hold that 5. Let's see, 9 bam, we're going to pass. We can just throw that out.
9 bamboos.
So we're going to try to play a quint in here. We have gathering to do for sure.
4 characters.
It'd be nice to get more dragons in here so we
9
have
bamboos.
options.
4 characters.
Joker.
1 dot.
I'm thinking
9 dots.
that the 5 can go. I'd rather hold on to the wins.
4 dots.
Just in case we get the
4
north and
dots.
flowers, we could maybe switch to the
9
third hand
dots.
down under winds and dragons. I think
9
the quint looks
bamboos.
good to me though. We have a lot of gathering to
2
do still,
dots.
but we have no gaps. And we would be leveraging a Kong and a pair.
East wind.
We'll pass. We got the north. Okay, now let's discard the 7 dot.
7 dots.
If we get a flower, I would consider playing that third hand down under winds.
2 dots.
Because now we have no gaps with news, but we don't have any
Flower.
flowers. There goes the first one. We do have jokers that
2
we could
characters.
potentially use for flowers. But I try not to use jokers to fill a gap. I'd rather shoot for a quint and let the single wins go.
4 characters.
So this will be interesting to see how this pans
West
out.
wind.
Oh, that's a pass. For the news flower hand, east and west are singles.
Flower.
And that's what we would need. 4 flowers, not a pung. 4.
5
4
characters.
flowers. We need 4 flowers if we play that news hand. We don't need 3s.
3 bamboos.
Would you guys go for a quint with this hand?
7 characters.
So let's see.
3 dots.
We're in the middle of the middle game here.
9 characters.
So we need to keep an eye on that.
3
This
bamboos.
5 dot is a fresh tile. No dragons
6
are out.
dots.
So that's something to be mindful of.
1 character.
That would be the external variables to
West
consider
wind.
while you're trying to make decisions on your own hand. Now we have a flower. So at this
5
point,
dots.
we have no gaps with our news hand. To leverage that block,
3
that
dots.
Kong, I would consider playing
3 characters.
news with flowers. There's a north
8
out.
characters.
2 norths are out. We just got another flower. So I would let the idea of the quint go now that we have a multiple with flowers.
White dragon.
And I would use the jokers for the north, not the flower. Let's hope that we draw more flowers from the wall. And at the moment, we have a multiple here that we don't need. This is called joker bait. And we're right about at the moment where
3
you want to
dots.
discard that one of those
4
tiles.
dots.
Maybe we could coax an exposure with a joker. Someone, by the way, did Kong
dots.
with that white dragon. So let's discard this. Let's see. No 5 bams are out. Let's see here. Let's go one more pick and then discard.
4 bamboos.
Yeah, exactly,
7
Karen.
characters.
Hashtag no Quint. We
3
switched.
bamboos.
Okay, so if another north goes down, we can Kong, and then we just
8
need to
dots.
gather flowers. Okay, 5 crack will go.
5
Now, I think the
characters.
next pick, we're going to start switching to holding
4
safe discards.
bamboos.
We now want to hold safe discards instead of
7
holding
dots.
fresh discards because we're
3
going
dots.
into the end game shortly. So let's let this 5 bam go
5 bamboos.
because now we're going on the defend. We're in the stage of defend.
8 bamboos.
We're still building our hand, but we're also considering defense. So while you're in these
3
stages,
bamboos.
you still got 1 foot in
4
the other
bamboos.
stage. So we're in the build defend stage right now. We need to build our flowers. So we're not gathering per se, we're building up. Because we
5
have the flowers,
bamboos.
we just need to build. And then of course defend. Now let's see, there's a 9 crack out.
6 characters.
There goes a 6 crack. We're going to pass. Nobody wanted it, so those should be safe. So I
6
feel pretty good
dots.
about that. That was
7
just
characters.
discarded. The 9 crack was discarded a bit ago. I don't think anybody else wants wins, so we're going to keep that win.
9 characters.
And then we'll discard it later. Hopefully we'll get another flower so we
7
can Kong.
dots.
It's Kong
8
of flowers, Kong north, south, single, east, west.
White dragon.
Oh, they got the Joker.
2 bamboos.
Pung.
We got skipped.
West wind.
Pass.
Red dragon.
We need a keeper. That's not a keeper. At least 1 is out. 2 are out. Good. We'll discard that.
2 dots. 4 bamboos. 1 dot.
So we need north flower.
2 bamboos.
We need a keeper. We got a keeper. North.
6 characters.
So now we have an extra east. We're not quite ready.
5
We're 1 away from
characters.
ready. We need a Joker
4
flower.
characters.
Joker flower. Keeper. JFK. Joker flower keeper.
Green dragon.
A flower would be great, or a Joker.
Pung.
Oh, we got skipped again. Oh, look, somebody else is
5
gathering
dots.
dragons.
8 characters.
And that
5
green
bamboos.
dragon is available. There it is. Exchange, please.
Green dragon.
Thank you. And we are concealed, ready to win on a
East
flower or, let me see, north.
5 dots.
Ready to win on a flower.
8
No,
characters.
I don't know if people are going to be
9
throwing
characters.
flowers. The person, uh-oh. Oh, no. I think no matter what, we're going to do it. We're ready to
Red
win.
dragon.
That could be a Mahjong. Oh, my gosh, that was really scary.
8
Maybe they're
bamboos.
playing a year hand.
Kong.
No. They're
8
playing
dots.
that red dragon. That was a really risky discard. But I
5
thought, okay,
dots.
we can throw away a Joker and just trash our hand, or we could throw away a
6
flower and risk
characters.
somebody else winning. Now, if another
9
red dragon goes
characters.
down, or we pick
7
another red,
characters.
I don't know. I don't think I would discard it. Oh, that was really scary.
7 dots.
You want to think about win or fold, They're
9
playing a
dots.
25-point hand. We're playing a 25-point
7
hand.
bamboos.
There are
Mahjong.
6 flowers still out. So I think our risk was worth it. Okay, so here we have 6, 7, 8 Kongs with a pair of flowers. Over here, we have 1, 2 dragon. 1, 2, 1, 2 dragon. They have a gap. They need white dragons. Over here, we have the dragon hand, but they only had 1 red dragon. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flowers plus 2 out. So we would have needed a Joker to win. with that particular hand. That was fast moving, I think, and we had to make a switch. I think it went well. It would have been nice to win, though. It's always nice to win at least once. What do you mean the game started? What? Okay, let's see here. I want to be more careful about the games or the tables I join. Oh my goodness, that was really weird with that marathon game. I don't know what the deal was with that. Very weird. Anyway, let's not go on tilt over it, okay? I'm just trying to console myself here. Moving forward. Accept the consequences. Move on. Just move on. All right. Shuffle up and deal. Let's play another hand. We have a pair of flowers, 2, 4, 5 in bams, 4, 7, 8 in cracks, 4, 6, 9 in dots, and a west. Our multiples are with the flowers and the sixes. So that is going to be the target. We're targeting those two multiples. With the rest of these tiles, we could maybe try for a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. And we actually have a hand with no gaps, but it doesn't use the flowers. So I would consider switching to something that can use those flowers, which would be consecutive run. Either way, let's see, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9 can go. We have no 3. With the pair of flowers, I would leverage that. So I'm going to let the 2 go. We're going to let the 2, 4, 6, 8 go. And we're going to play consecutive run, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the predominant pattern building around the multiples. And now we have a 7 crack, another multiple, consecutive run. 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably this 9 though is up too high with where our multiples are. Let's let the 3 dot go, the 9 bam, and this 4 crack. We'll pass one of each suit there. I think so. Okay, so we have 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. So really these 4s can go. We just got a flower. So we have discards here, 3. We have 5, 6, 6, 5, 6 in bams, 6 dot, 7, 8 in cracks, pung of flowers. With a pung of flowers there in mixed suits, we're not going to need this 8. And we needed to identify at least one more discard to keep the Charleston going. So I'm thinking 6, 7 mixed suit congs with 6 flowers, probably. We did get the 8 crack, but I think right now, oh, here's a development. 5, 6, 7, 8, pung kong. We're going to keep going. We have 5, 6, 7, 8 mixed suit, pung, pung, kong, kong, but we also have a pung of flowers. We do have 3, 4, 5, 6 here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's way too long. I think I would build around this pung of flowers and the multiples, so I would let that 8 go. And then probably the 5 and the 3. We have one of each suit that we can pass. We could maybe play 5, 6, 7 mixed suit kongs and let one of the flowers go. We have tiles we can pass. Here's one of each suit. Maybe we could put a bigger number in there. Let's see, that would leave us with 3, 4, and 1 suit. 3, 4, and 1 suit here. Let's pass 3, 4. I suppose if we get another 6, we could switch to like numbers with 6s around those, just like we did right here. Like numbers with 6s and 6 flowers, and then let the 7 crack be joker bait. So let's pass 1 dot, 4 dot, 5 bam. So we have gathered, we have all consecutive tiles with flowers. So at this point, I would probably focus on mixed suit kongs with 6 flowers or like numbers with 6s and 6 flowers. Right now we have 4 discards with joker bait. I would say that was a pretty good Charleston. We are probably, I would say that we're a contender for this game. We have work to do. We need to gather, or we need to build. We have no gaps. We need to build up our sixes or the 6, 7 and flowers. So we went from gathering and now we're building. And we're in the begin game still, because we're still in that short wall. All right, let's discard this 1 bam.
1 bamboo.
Probably that 8 is not going to be helpful. We're building around the strength of the hand, which would be the multiples.
8 dots. 5 bamboos.
Okay, let's see.
1 bamboo.
Jane needs prayers. Okay. Oh my goodness.
8 bamboos.
Oh no, pneumonia. Oh my goodness. Okay, Jane, thank you for letting us know. We hope it goes well and full recovery there. Goodness. Okay, we're going to, let's see, we do have some 2, 4, 6, 8 building in here, but we have strength in, we have options with our pairs. We can do 6, 7 mixed kongs with 6 flowers, or we could do like numbers with 6s and 6 flowers. Either way, if a flower goes down, we could pung
3 dots
and get one of our pungs down. Because we're building, we're in the build stage. Okay, now here's a dragon. I don't think that's it's not the right dragon for our suits, so we're gonna let that go.
Green dragon.
You might think, well, why not play 4, 5, 6 with dragons? We would have to throw away 2 pair, 6.7 crack by focusing on either 6, 7 mixed kongs with 6 flowers. We only have to throw away 1 pair. Or if we play like numbers with 6s and 6 flowers, we would throw away 1 pair. Let's let the 8 dot go, and we have a joker now to work with. Oh, that's nice.
9 bamboos. Pung. North wind.
Okay, we need keepers. We got to build up. We can only call for 2 of our blocks right now. So we need keepers from this wall. Okay, now there's a 7, 6, 7. Let's see here. Let's let the 3 go. It's out. So is the 5. So that can go. I think this 7 probably can go too.
Red dragon.
If we get another 7, though, we might be able to play like numbers with 7s too.
5 bamboos.
Oh yeah, this 5 can go.
5 bamboos.
We do have some big odds in here, but our multiples are with 6s, and we have no 3s, so I wouldn't even think about 3, 6, 9 here. Plus 3 bams are out.
8 bamboos.
There's a keeper for us. 6
4
bam.
bamboos.
We have 2 discards before we have to make a choice.
4 dots.
We could either go with like numbers with 6s or 7s and the 6 mixed kong with 6 flowers. It would be ideal to pick a flower, because then we could pung. We could get those double pungs. There's our 6. So now we're set, because we could pung our flowers and we could kong our 6s.
9 characters.
And we have joker bait. So let's see. Joker bait is ideal.
8 bamboos.
In the middle of the middle wall.
2
you
dots.
Discard 1, which is going to be right about where this 8 is, probably.
8 dots.
We got a keeper.
7 bamboos.
We now are down to our joker bait here, right at the ideal time. We'll see if we can extend it 2 more picks if possible.
4 dots.
Are any out? No, none are out.
characters.
There's a hesitation on the 6 crack. That's the suit that we have here with our 7.
3 bamboos.
Red dragon. We could maybe use that. Let's let the dragon go. I mean, the 7.
7
Here we could
characters.
play like numbers with 6s and dragons and only need a pair of flowers.
6 characters.
But we're not set there. We still
Flower.
have work to do. Let's go ahead and pung.
Pung.
And we'll let the 7 go.
7 characters.
I probably should have let that red dragon go instead. There are no dragons out. There's a hesitation on that 7, so I think it's 6 1/2 dozen the other at the
8
moment.
bamboos.
So now we need to pung the flower,
3
and then we need
characters.
to Kong that 6.
Flower.
Okay, let's go ahead and pung.
Pung.
Might as well. Now we're ready to win on a 6
Red
bam.
dragon.
Someone may take that flower and we'll be ready on a pure hand.
Flower.
It's a risk, but now we're ready on a pure hand and nobody knows what we're playing.
6 bamboos.
And there's Mahjong on a pure hand. Mahjong!
Mahjong.
Woohoo! That was an interesting ride, and we're still in the middle game, building around the multiples. We targeted multiples, then we gathered our options, and then we built. We had no gaps, built up, and jokers do help, I must say. Thank you for the kudos. Here we have news with 7s. Nice jokers here. They needed to Kong, but they weren't ready to commit, probably because they didn't have their north. Our north's out. There's one north is out. So they probably were not ready to risk calling a tile with those jokers. For one, they would risk losing the jokers, but also they did not have their pair secured. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pung Kong, but of course they needed help building on their 3. So they were in the build stage. Here, they're building as well. They have no gaps, so they were building. Here, we have like numbers with 9s. They have a gap hand, so they were gathering. They had a gap hand, no 9 crack, which could have been a Kong, and you can use any number of jokers with a Kong. So they were gathering still. So this was a nice hand. Let's play again. Thank you for the kudos. Here's another table we can jump to. And we're ready to go. Shuffle up and deal. We have 1, 4, 6 in bams, 5 crack, 4, 5, 6 in dots with a pair of 6s, red dragon. We have new with a pair of Norse, NEW, new. I would build around the 6s here. We have all consecutive tiles except for this one. Really, this red dragon can go probably. We have no flowers, so I wouldn't consider playing like numbers with the dragon, for example. I would let that 1 red go, and then I think I would hold number tiles, because we could maybe play like numbers with 6s in news, but we're so far off. Number tiles are much more efficient than wins. So we're going to hold number tiles 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6 now. We have a 4 and a 3. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, though, we have a multiple with 6s, 2 6s here. I would break up the north 1, and then we'll have to start drilling into these tiles now. So we have 4, 5, 6, 6. I think the 4 can go. 3, 4, 5, 6 pung Kong. The 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6 in 1 suit. Let's let the 5 crack go. We're building around the 2 6s. If we can get a 7 dot and a 6 crack, which we just got, we could maybe try 5, 6, 7 with 6s in the middle. So let's focus on the 6s. We'll let the 1 crack go. The 4 dot can go because we're building around our multiples, which are the 6s. Maybe we'll start seeing those wins come back and we could play news with like numbers. Now that we have all 3 6s, I think I would like to, I think we should try that. Let's let the 3 crack go. We'll see if we can get wins back, or we can focus on 5, 6, 7. Primarily, okay, so now here is a 7. We have another multiple with the 4, so we need to think about that. Here's 3, 4, let's see, 3. We should definitely keep going. And I think at this point the winds should go. So we have 5, 6, 6, 7. We have a 3 that's isolated. That is isolated. We have a pair of 4s. Let's see, 4, 6, 2, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. I think we should let one of the winds go and the 7. I think it would be, let's see, let's break up the 4 actually. It is isolated from our multiples. Let's let that go. We're going to focus on the 6s here. Probably like numbers with 6s, or if we get that 7 dot, we might be able to try for something consecutive. Now here's something interesting. 6, 7, 8. We have a 9, 4 north can go. Here's 4, 5, 6. Let's just see what happens. Two, 3. These are 2. We're in the middle of the range or in the upper side even with 7, 8. So really these can go 1, 2. These are too far from our multiples, the 6s. Now what we could think about is maybe switching to 2, 4, 6, 8 here. We do have some 2, 4, 6, 8 in here. Here's a 2 and an 8. So let's reassess. This is where you might have to retarget. You reassess, look at your options, make a decision. So right now, we just have to go on our memory. They have 2 tiles. I think that, let's see, we have 6, 7, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 6, 2, 9. I think the 2 and the 9 can go. So we have either 2, 4, 6, 8 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7. Consecutive run would be the best choice because of its efficiency. So we have discards, although we do have now a run, 4 numbers in a range, 6, 7, 8, 9.
2 characters.
So I would just gather. We're going to gather. So
1
we targeted.
character.
Now we're gathering. We are gathering. We're not in a place yet where we can quite build because we've got gaps. We don't even know what category
1
we're in
bamboo.
yet. We're between categories, 2, 4, 6, 8,
9
or consecutive
characters.
run. We're just in gather. We're in the
9
gather
dots.
stage. We're in the gather stage and we're targeting the
1
multiples
character.
still, but we're gathering. Now there's a 6. So I would let go of the 1 for sure. And then
1
these
dot.
littler numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, I think should go. And our predominant
2
pattern
dots.
is going to be consecutive run. Now we have 5, 6, 7, 8.
9 bamboos.
We don't know which hand yet. We don't even have to look at the card because we're
7
still gathering.
dots.
When we run out of discards,
2 dots.
then we'll look at the hand level. What we know is we're playing consecutive run, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be
6
4
dots.
numbers in a range around your multiple. Now, this is where you have to make a decision. One of our tiles goes down. We have 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, no gaps. That's the first one. I would let it go because our hand is very weak at the moment. Even though we have no
1
gaps for
bamboo.
Pung Kong, it's weak.
9
If
bamboos.
the 6 dot goes down again, I would reassess. I think this 4 can go. Maybe I would keep that 9. Okay, now here's another multiple,
dots.
a 7. So we have 6, 7, 8, 6, 7. We have a gap for the concealed hand, 6, 7, 8, and 2
8
suits.
dots.
6, 7, 8, and 2 suits
1 character.
would be the potential there, but that would be a gap hand. So I would
8
probably lower
bamboos.
that as an option. That 8 bam looks nice for a Kong maybe, but our other multiples are with 6s and the 7. I wouldn't take that. It's too weak. Now there's a 6. All right, we have to make some choices now. 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. Let's see, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. I'd let the 5 go. We can't keep it all.
5 dots.
Can't keep it all. Okay, so
White
6, 7,
dragon.
8, 9. Now that we have a pung in there, I would consider 6, 7, 8, 9 kongs. Pung kong. Pung pung
North
kong
wind.
kong. Even though we let an 8 go, and there
3
actually now
bamboos.
there are 2 9 bands out, I just noticed. So I would not play that hand, actually.
Kong.
What I would consider is 6, 7, 8
South wind.
concealed. We have joker bait, we have our singles, and we would be building around 3 multiples. So I would consider
Red dragon.
6, 7, 8 concealed. We just picked our gap and we filled a gap.
9
So we're going to play
bamboos.
6, 7, 8 concealed. We have our
5
sevens.
bamboos.
We're going to have to let one go, but that's okay. We're building around
North
most of our
wind.
multiples. We even have a pung in there.
2
Let's
bamboos.
see if we can ride out the wall with this joker bait. Now, of course, if we get a keeper, there is some potential in here for like numbers with 6s and dragons, but we have no other dragons. Those would be gaps.
White dragon.
We have no gap. With the 6, 7, 8 concealed hand, no
8
gaps.
dots.
So we're going to need to draw
5
well.
bamboos.
We have 3 discards at the moment. The 7 has to go, but we're
5
gonna
dots.
keep it for just a bit. Now we could have maybe done 6, 7, 6, 7 dragon with the white, but
2 bamboos.
it was weak and we'd have to break up a pung.
Green dragon.
I think the 7 can go.
9 dots.
We just need to build. We're in build mode now. 6, 8.
6 characters.
That's our tile, but we're playing concealed.
1 dot.
I would say we're a contender for
7
this.
dots.
We can use any number of jokers, but we cannot call tiles, so it's going to take some work. We're going to have to draw well.
North wind.
Maybe we'll get that 3 bam for a joker
7
exchange.
dots.
Okay, now there's a new multiple formed. Let's see, 6, 7, pung of 7s. Let's let this 6 dot go.
6 dots.
Nobody wanted it. 7 dot
6
pung.
characters.
That's our tile, but we can use jokers there. We're going to need to.
South
So really,
wind.
we have new joker bait now with the 7.
1 bamboo.
there. 3 dot can go.
3 dots.
See if somebody pungs for like numbers. There was a hesitation there.
3 dots.
6, 7. You know what?
1 character.
How many 7 bams are out? If we get
8 dots.
if we get flowers, we might be able to play the pair hand.
6
How
dots.
many 6 cracks are out? 2.
East wind.
If we get a 6 crack and a flower, we could play that pair hand
Kong.
and let the joker go.
Flower.
That's kind of what we want. Oh, dragon. Let's let the 7 crack go, I think. 6, 7. White dragons are out. Let's let the dragon go. One
Green
thing I was
dragon.
thinking is we could maybe switch to 6, 7, 6, 7 dragon, where we would use
3
this joker as the
bamboos.
white, but we would need 2 more jokers.
9 characters.
That's a gap, and we would need jokers.
Green
So that's a
dragon.
double whammy. I probably would not do that.
5 dots.
Red dragon. No, we're going to let it go.
Red dragon.
Dragons are going down.
Nine bamboos.
So the pair hand is still viable. The concealed hand is
1
still
bamboo.
viable and will be until the end because we can use
South
jokers.
wind.
Okay, 3 crack. We're going to let that go.
3 characters.
I don't know what this player across from us is doing. Are they playing
Pung.
3, 6, 9? Oh, there's another 3. We've got
Flower.
2 people with 3s here.
3 characters.
At this point, I think probably the concealed
6
hand is going to be
characters.
the way to go. There goes the other 6. So, oh my goodness sake, look at that. Okay, well, we're Where are we? We're in the end game. Let's let that go. So this
7
is where you want to
characters.
look at your discards
5
and count
bamboos.
how many discards you have and compare
9
that with
dots.
how many picks you have. So we have 3
2
discards,
characters.
including joker bait, and we have lots of picks. We just got a keeper too. Let's let the 7 go.
7 bamboos.
When we discarded that 7 crack, nobody wanted it.
Red dragon. 2 characters.
So even though this looks a bit bleak with our 6, 7, 8, we can still
5
make it
bamboos.
work if we can get jokers, because we're going to need another joker for that 6.
2 dots.
There are 3 6 cracks out, and we need 2. 1, 2, 3. Maybe we'll draw the 2 crack. How many 2 cracks are out? 1.
Joker.
Oh, joker.
7 characters.
We got a joker, and we need it too. Okay, we're going to tuck these over here.
Red dragon.
We don't want to accidentally discard one of those. All right, now what we
5
need
dots.
is an 8 crack in here. I don't
8
even.
characters.
Oh, there it is. Darn it. Okay, maybe we'll get the 2. A flower. Oh, golly. Okay, 1 was just discarded.
Flower.
That was a little bit scary. We are 1 away from ready
4
on
bamboos.
the concealed hand. We need an 8 crack.
Kong.
It'd be really nice if we can draw that 2.
7 bamboos.
Okay, we'll pass. We need that 2 crack over there, or a joker, or an
9
8 crack.
characters.
1 dot. 1 dot. 1, 2, 7 crack. Nobody wants.
1 dot. 9 dots. White dragon.
Yeah, white dragon.
Flower.
Okay, we need a keeper in here. 4 crack. 4 crack. Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5.
7 characters.
This 4 crack is a fresh tile.
Flower.
This player over here, I think they're
1
playing
dot.
2, 3, 4, 5 in 1 suit. They
6
could be playing,
dots.
yeah, 2, 3. Oh, that can go.
7 bamboos.
This 4 crack is going to be a risky discard here.
3 dots.
Oh, shoot.
Mahjong.
Oh, they weren't ready. I was going to risk it, but okay, 2, 3, 4 with a east and west with a run. 2, 3, 4, single pair pung. Over here, 2, 3, 4 Kongs with a pair of flowers. Over here, 2, 3, 4, 5 pung Kong. They would have Konged that 4, discarded the west, and been ready on a 5. Of course, we needed the 8 cracks, which were in the wall. All right, let's play again. Hopefully we'll get to play at least 2 more games. Did anybody feel that the concept of the stages of hand development, target, gather, build, defend, did anyone find that helpful? As far as trying to, I think this works. This concept is great for people who like to kind of compartmentalize, people who are methodical in their thinking. I think this particular concept in playing the game would be really helpful for those thinkers. Okay, so we have jokers, of course. 1, 9 in bam, 6, 7, 9 in cracks, 3, 4, 8 in dots, west and south. So our multiple is with the south. That's what we're going to target. We're going to try to gather wins, but I would pick a plan B, maybe like numbers with 9s. So let's let the 3, 8 go. So we're going to target the south. Let's see if we can get more. We're going to need help. So We just went right, or let's see, right across. So the player on our left did not pass any wins. So we're going to think about that. We're going to keep that in mind. We passed an 8 dot. Let's let this 4 go and keep the 8. So we might switch to like numbers with news. Let's see if we can get more wins. Not yet. We're building consecutive run. That's our predominant pattern in here. And I would probably leverage that. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9. We do have odds in here. I think what I would do is let the West go. If we play news with like numbers, that would be a single tile that hopefully we can gather later. So the player to our left did not pass wins. The player across from us did not pass wins. Nobody passed wins. We're going to gather consecutive tiles. We're going to keep going, and we're going to pass a wind. We're going to hoard 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, I think I would send 1 wind because none of these players are passing wins. We need to give them to different people. The 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. All right, let's keep going. You got to think about your hand first, and then you pass as defensively as you can with your leftover tiles. We have an 8 bam that is in our range, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are going across now. Hi, Bonnie. I hope you enjoy the replay. We did a presentation on the art of hand development, talking about the stages of developing a hand. And those are target, gather, build, defend. So right now we're gathering. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. We're really gathering because we don't have to pick a hand yet. When you start getting to that commitment stage, that's when you'll be building, more likely than not. So we're gathering. We haven't made a decision. We're playing 6, 7, 8, 9 of some kind. Six, 7, 8, 9. We need keepers. We got an 8 and a 7. Those would be keepers. And a south came back. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so we have 1 tile and then all 6, 7, 8, 9. This 9 crack is isolated. There's no 8 crack in there. We have 7. We have pung of 8s. We have an 8 and a south. 8 south, 7, 8, 9. They want 2 tiles. We need to come up with 1 tile. Because of the 9s, I think I would let the 6 crack go. 6 crack, 8 dot, 7, 8, 9, south, 7, 7, 8. I think we could do 2. Okay, we're going to do 6 and south. This is a challenge, and we still aren't picking a hand yet. We're just going to continue to gather. We might be able to switch to like numbers with 8s. Okay, no keepers. So we do not know what hand we're playing, and that's
1
okay.
dot.
We're gathering. We are in the gather stage. We've already targeted our 8 dot. We have a pung in there. Here's a 4, 5, but that's way too far from our 8. We have no 2s, no 6s, so I wouldn't even think about consecutive run. I mean, 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's let the 1 go.
1
And then
bamboo.
we'll probably let the 4, 5 and dots go. We want 7, 8,
West
9.
wind.
7, 8, 9 of some kind. If we can get flowers, we could
4
play
characters.
7, 8, 9 mixed suit Kongs. There's no gaps for that particular hand other than the flowers, of
South
course.
wind.
So we would need a flower to fill a gap. We're gathering. Joker helps.
4 dots.
Okay, so let's think about this. Let's see here.
2 dots.
7, 8, 8s. 7, 8, 7, 8. 7, 9, 5. We're going to keep gathering. Now, if someone throws an 8 dot, that's when we're going to have to make a decision
Flower.
as to whether or not we want to take it. One thing I'm thinking, if we can, now that we've
East
given up that
wind.
6 crack, I was thinking maybe we could play 6, 7, 8 quint. There's a new multiple though, 5 dot. All right, let's let the 9 crack go. One
9
thing here we
characters.
could do is play a gap hand. That would leverage both of our multiples, pung, pung, kong, kong, 5, 6, 7, 8 in one suit.
4 dots.
We could pung the 5. If we define a joker as a 6, we could
Green
pung
dragon.
6. We could kong the 8. We just need one more tile for our 7.
1 dot.
Or of course we could kong the 7 and wait on the 6. So at this point, I think I would focus on 5, 6, 7, 8. Also think about like numbers with 8. So I would probably let this 7 go.
7 characters.
There would be some potential for 6, 7, 8 with 7s
South
in the
wind.
middle. This would be the third hand from the bottom under consecutive run, but we have 3 7s, all singles. Those would be weak pairs, really weak. Even though we
2
have a
dots.
Kong, but our other Kong is absent. It's a gap.
5 dots.
So I wouldn't think about that particular hand. I would dig in to Pung Kong.
Pung.
Even though it's a gap, we have a joker. A joker.
Red
We've got
dragon.
multiple jokers, actually. We just need one good pick for our 6
East
and
wind.
7, and then we'll be okay. So this is a little bit risky. However, Pung Kong, the Pung Kong hand, Pung Pung Kong Kong, you can use any number of jokers for that hand.
1
So
dot.
the commitment is not risky at all. What you do
North
risk,
wind.
though, is multiple exposures and people figuring out what you're playing. So let's let the 9 crack, or 9
9
bam go.
bamboos.
We're going to focus on dots.
1 bamboo.
We're playing 5, 6, 7, 8 Pung Kong.
4 characters.
Oh, that would be a pass. I was hoping maybe we could get a joker out of that, but not so much. We'll let it
8
go.
bamboos.
Pass. There's a 7 crack.
4 characters.
You never know. We're committed
2
to the Pung
dots.
Kong hand, though. So nobody wanted that. That might be a good discard for later.
Red
The
dragon.
8 bam is out. Nobody wanted that.
5 characters.
Be nice to draw a 6 dot or a 7. 6 dot would be, oh, there's the 7.
8
Goodness.
bamboos.
Okay, so even though that might have been nice for that 5, 6,
7
7
bamboos.
hand with 7s in the middle, we now have joker bait. So that works in the middle of the middle
3
game,
characters.
which is going to be right about where the break in the wall is. So let's see if we can keep those pair of 7s for
4
maybe 2 more
characters.
picks. 2 more picks and we'll let that 7 go.
3 characters. 7 dots.
Okay, we need to Kong that.
Kong.
We're playing Pung Kong. Pung Pung Kong
7
Kong.
bamboos.
Pung Pung Kong Kong. We're short on our
West
6.
wind.
It's actually a gap, but thankfully we have jokers.
5 dots.
Let's hope that we draw the 7.
3 characters.
4 dot.
4 dots. West wind.
Now everyone's going to know what we're playing here with these exposures. I'm okay with that. If nothing
2
else, it'll put them
bamboos.
on the defense.
7 dots.
Oh, they got one.
5 bamboos.
Just one though.
5 characters.
There's a hesitation on that one.
6 characters.
All right, we need a joker keeper on our turn, of course.
2 bamboos.
Still no 8 dot out. If it goes down, I would call it.
8 dots.
There it is. I would call it. Everybody
Kong.
already knows what we're playing. And that's a
7
pure Kong.
characters.
Nobody wanted the 7. It was discarded in the
5
early game, but
characters.
sometimes people might not be ready that early in the game. So joker bait, even though 1 is out in the early game, still could work.
4 bamboos.
Let's hope we draw our 7 dot to get ready, or a 6 dot would be awesome. Then we would fill a gap. We're still playing a gap hand.
Green dragon.
9 crack can go. Nobody wants the
9
7,
characters.
so that'll be a good discard for later. If we have to wait till later anyway.
8 characters. Kong.
Oh, there's a joker. Let's see. Yep.
5 characters.
So we have 2 jokers up for grabs, 8 crack and 7 dot.
Red dragon.
We need a keeper.
3 bamboos.
We need a keeper.
Nine bamboos.
No.
5 bamboos. Red dragon.
Okay, keeper. Oh,
1 bamboo. White dragon.
no. You're waiting patiently.
Kong.
Oh, we got a new turn now.
6 dots.
Okay, we need, oh, that's our tile. Oh gosh. Now everybody knows. Everybody knows we're not ready. All right, let's let this dragon go.
Green dragon.
Oh, sadness. Sadness.
West wind. 7 bamboos.
I would love to draw one of these joker
5
exchanges, or maybe the
bamboos.
6 dot. Oh,
3 bamboos.
okay.
Pung.
Ooh, pung. Pure pung.
3 dots.
Okay, let's
3
see.
characters.
8 crack, 7 dot, 6 dot,
Flower.
8 bam, 8 bam, 8 bam. I see 1. I see 2. We're discarding the 8 bam.
8 bamboos.
We're in the end game, so we have
3
to think about,
dots.
we're in the defend stage.
1 character.
Got to think about defense. But we're 1 away. We could still pick this to get
Flower.
ready. Oh, flower was just discarded.
Flower.
It's a little scary discarding a flower in the end game.
3 dots.
1, 2, 3.
4 dots.
3 flowers out. Okay, our turn's coming up. We need a keeper.
9 bamboos.
We need a keeper. Oh, a flower.
Flower.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4th one out. I think somebody needs a pair.
7 dots.
Oh, shoot. They got another
1 character.
Oh, shoot.
4 bamboos.
All right. We need a keeper in here. 8 crack, 6
North
dot,
wind.
joker, 8 crack, 6 dot, joker, 7 bam. No, that should be safe. 7 crack, nobody wanted either. Let's throw the 7 crack.
7 characters. 1 character. 7 characters.
The 7 bam should be safe. Okay, we need a
1
keeper.
bamboo.
8 crack, joker, 3 dot was discarded a bit ago.
3 dots.
This is a bit agonizing here.
1 character.
This looks really pretty, but I don't, they probably are thinking,
Green dragon.
where is the 6? Why are they not taking the 6? Okay, we need a
Flower.
keeper here. 8 crack, joker. Oh, 2 dot, 2 dot. 2 dots are out
2 dots.
right here in front of us and one right there.
5 bamboos.
Okay, we still have potential to win this game. 1,
East
2,
wind.
3. 3 more picks. 1 discard.
4 bamboos.
We need a keeper. 9 dot. I don't see 9 dots out there. We're going to throw the 7.
7 bamboos. 1 dot.
This 9 dot is a fresh tile.
2 bamboos.
We actually have a gap hand, so I would probably,
Mahjong.
oh, we have a winner. 2s. Like numbers with 2s and dragons. I like numbers. Nice. Here we have news with 8s. They couldn't build. They needed to build more. They're 8 band. No gaps, but they had work to do here. 3, 6, 6, 9, ready to win on a 9 dot. And of course we had the 9 dot. And this is why we couldn't get our 6s, because they were playing 3, 6, 9. So I was going to undefine that joker and start discarding that and hold the 9. All right, let's see if we can play one more game. One more game. We got close and we played a gap hand up until the end. It's challenging. That was a tough game. We had contenders for our tiles. Well, 1. Okay, here we go. Well, check it out. We have 3 jokers. We won't be playing the big ear hand. That is for sure. We have pairs of 2s and flowers and a white dragon. So I would think about playing a year hand here, building around the multiples, the flowers, probably that 3rd hand down. 3rd hand down. If we get dragons, we can maybe play the 1st hand, or we could play like numbers with 2s. Let's discard the 1, the 7, and the 6. Oh, thank you, Karen. Yeah, thumbs up helps the channel big time. So that's awesome. Thank you. Okay, no keepers. We do have a 1. We could maybe try for 1, 2, or 2, 3 with 6 flowers. But we have a 5, 9, and 1 suit. I would not pass 5, 9, 5, 9 in dots with a matching dragon. No, I would not do that. So what I would probably do here is let the 1 go. Still focus on maybe a year hand. We're a little bit strapped because we have 3 jokers. If we can get a 2 dot, I would probably commit to that 3rd hand down. Or maybe like numbers with 2s. I think those are the options for us. Here we have a 2 band. So I would let this 3 go. This is a moment where I would probably consider passing like numbers because we have no gaps for the 3rd hand down under consecutive run. Let's see here. How close are we? We would still need 1 more flower in here. I think we're close enough to risk it. We are close enough to risk it. We're actually set. We could Kong the flowers, pung the 2s, be ready on a 2 dot. Now, this is where we have to decide if we want to keep going. We do have 3 tiles to pass. I would go ahead and keep going. Let's see if we can get away with not digging into our hand. We could still maybe play like numbers with 2s and not use that dragon. I'm hoping that we'll be able to keep our 2s. So getting 3 discards would actually be a relief at the moment, because then we wouldn't have to sacrifice a 2 or the dragon. Okay, so north and south. This is a little bit risky to pass 2 wins, but I would say that we are a front runner for these tiles because we could actually pick a hand and we're set. 3rd hand down under the year. We could potentially play the dragon hand, or not the dragon hand, like numbers without the dragon, because it's the wrong dragon. We would need a green dragon or a red dragon. Oh, we got like numbers. I don't think I would do another. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I would do another. We're set. We're going to do it. Oh my gosh. It's unheard of for me. Passing like numbers twice in a Charleston. Oh boy. It's very risky, but we are set. If we could get a 2 dot, that would be great, because then we would have our year block covered. And then all we'd have to do is pung and kong. East 8 5. Eesh. All right. Well, at least we have a good pass here for optional. Let's hope they want 3. They want 3. We can do 3. No other 2s were going around, so I would be surprised to see more 2s. And I would fall out of my chair if we got a flower. It does happen. Whoa, we got a pair. Oh my goodness.
North wind.
All right. Let's see. Here's a 1, 1, 2. Let's let the 7 go.
7 bamboos.
So there we have a 1. We could maybe gather
9
for
dots.
1, 2, 3 dragon,
East wind.
but I don't think so. I think I would
7 dots.
focus on the year hand,
7
but hold on to
bamboos.
that 1.
4 characters.
So we have a pair here we don't need. Someone threw a north and nobody even hesitated on it.
8 bamboos.
If the 2 bam 2 crack go down, I would call it. If the flower goes down, I would call it. We're set for
1
this
dot.
hand, actually. We'll pass. Let's let the 9 go.
9 characters.
That 1 crack went down, or 1 dot. I think I would hold on to it just for a little bit more.
5 bamboos.
We could still maybe play 1, 2, 3 if we get a 3 dot, but that's a gap.
5 characters.
And we need a pair of 1s, so that would be a weakness.
East wind.
It looks like nobody's playing wins.
South wind.
We're going to let that go and hold number tiles, and we'll see if we can get some
6
Joker
characters.
exchange potential out of these. I'm going to optimize for Joker exchange.
6
It's not
characters.
Joker bait, but you can hold tiles that might be
7
used
characters.
in an exposure with Jokers. So that's what we're going to
wind.
optimize for Joker capture.
3 characters.
Joe Mills sent me an email saying you should
Red dragon.
you should do a video on Joker capture. I kind of
2
like
characters.
that terminology. Okay, we're gonna pung.
Pung.
That's our tile. We're
6 bamboos.
we're in a risky spot though, because we still need a 2 dot. We are close though.
5 characters.
We could maybe switch to like numbers with 2s and dragons if we get the dragons. That's a big if though.
2 characters.
Oh, they got the Joker already.
7 characters.
Okay, we need to draw well. 2 dot, flower.
5 characters.
8 dot, 3 is out. The
Three
one dot is
characters.
out, so we can let that go.
North wind.
Looks like nobody's playing winds.
3 bamboos.
Okay, our turn is coming up. We need a keeper. JFK,
5
Joker flower
bamboos.
keeper, east.
East wind.
We're in the begin game, or no, we're in the middle game now. We're in the third wall. So
7 bamboos.
we can hold on to fresh tiles to optimize Joker capture.
8 dots.
Oh, 8 dot. There's a hesitation there. Nobody took it though.
3 characters.
Let's throw the 1.
1 dot.
There's an 8 bam out. I don't remember if there was a hesitation on that 8 bam. There's a hesitation on the 1. Big hesitation there.
8 dots.
We'll pass. Nobody wanted it, so we'll escalate it now.
7 dots.
So that'll be our next discard, that 8.
4 bamboos. 8 dots.
No dragons are out. We might be able to switch to like numbers with
Flower.
2s and dragons. Okay, let's Kong.
Kong. 8 bamboos.
Okay, now 1 more exposure and they're going to know what we're playing.
4
Really though,
characters.
with 4 flowers and a pung of 2s,
Flower.
they'll know what we're playing. They'll know we're playing the year hand.
8 characters.
I don't think there's any other hand this could be with 4 flowers.
Red dragon. Green dragon.
So we're committed. It's a bit risky because we still need a 2 dot.
4 bamboos.
So we're risking
6
disqualification here. It'd be nice if we
Red
could draw
dragon.
1 dot. Oh, 2 bam will do.
6
Okay.
dots.
So now we're ready to win on a 2 dot. And
6
I think people are
bamboos.
going to know what we're playing with 2 exposures. Pung Kong. Oh no, let's see.
3
Pung of 2s,
bamboos.
Kong of flowers. There's only 1 hand this could be. But they might think we're not
5
ready yet
dots.
because we're still in the middle game. So we
Kong.
got ready for this hand pretty quickly. I think if it were me, I
2
would
bamboos.
discard. Now here, I would let that go because I do not want to have another exposure it would trigger people or put people even more
9
on the
bamboos.
defense. I want to stay, I'm basically bluffing. I'm
6 characters.
pretending like we're not ready. We have a potential for a pure hand, but by having another exposure,
9 bamboos.
it's going to put people on the offense big time. Here,
5 bamboos.
we're ready on a 2, and by not taking that 2 bam,
7
they might
bamboos.
think they're not ready. That's my hope. That's the bluff.
3 characters.
So we're ready on a 2 dot. If we draw a 2 bam, I would discard the Joker.
7 characters.
But that would also tell them we're
8
ready.
bamboos.
So that would even be risky because then they would maybe hold the 2.
5 bamboos. 9 bamboos.
We need the 2 dot. And I'm playing to win. So I'm going to discard.
9 dots.
I'm going to discard regardless at this point. Now for the 2 dot,
Green dragon.
the player on our left could be using 2s. They could
4
be playing 2, 4,
bamboos.
6, 8. The player on our right, they could also have the 2.
Flower.
So we may have competitors for
8
the 2.
dots.
There was a tiny hesitation on the 8, but they're already out.
South wind. Flower. 9 bamboos. 6 bamboos.
There's a hesitation on the 6.
Hung.
Are they playing like numbers with dragons?
9 dots.
Okay, 5. I'm throwing that.
5 characters.
It was thrown a bit ago.
2 bamboos.
Okay, we're going to let it go. I don't want them to know. Oh my gosh, you know what I just thought? We could have
dragon.
been using like numbers with, oh shoot, I didn't see it. We could have won because the 2
characters.
Oh shoot. We could have won
1
on the
bamboo.
2 because we could have switched the joker to the 2 dot and been
West
ready on the
wind.
2 bam. All right, that's silly. I let 2 mahjongs go because I was
6 dots.
so focused on the 2 dot. Oh my goodness.
South wind.
Let's hope they think we're just not ready.
4
Darn it. Yes, I
characters.
saw that now, Jingles.
6 dots.
I didn't see it. I had tunnel vision.
7 dots.
It happens sometimes when you're engrossed.
East wind.
Oh, 3 dot can go.
3 dots.
I was so focused on the bluff.
Mahjong.
Oh, bummer. Oh, our tile was in the, oh no, our opponent across from us had it. Oh, that was my bad. That was really painful. Okay, so we have 2, 3, 4, 5 Punkong, and I let Mahjong go twice because I just didn't see it. Here we have like numbers with 1s and dragons. Here I could have used the joker with the 2 dot and had the 2 bam be the year, and I just didn't see it. And here we have 3, 6, 6, 9. They needed white dragons. All right, I think my mind is done. Oh, for goodness sake. Well, it was fun anyway. And it just goes to show you, just because you're an experienced Mahjong player doesn't mean you're going to win, and you do make mistakes. It is a good lesson. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this live stream. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. So sorry for the delay in that. I hope that it helps you, especially if you like structure and think methodically. I think this concept of the 4 stages of hand development could be helpful. Just remember, target, gather, build, defend. You're going to analyze, you're going to look at all the alternatives, you're going to assess the potential, and then make a decision and accept the consequences and just continue to move forward. You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure, sincerely. We'll see you again Wednesday night. I won't be going live on my channel, but I'm going to be in a panel discussion with other instructors and tournament directors. We're going to be talking about advanced strategy. So if you haven't registered for it, it's a Zoom panel discussion hosted by Modern Mahjong, Donna and Dara of Modern Mahjong. I'll put a link in the video description for this, even though it's temporary because it's Wednesday night. I'll put a link in the video description, or you can go to my Facebook page because there's an event that I shared the post there in my featured posts. Look there so that you can register. Unlimited attendees. So if you haven't registered, consider coming. It's going to be a great event. And it's just 1 hour Wednesday night. I think it's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You know what? While we're at it, let me just share about it here. Hold on. Since we're here, I'm going to share it. Here it is, right here. Modern Mahjong. You can go to my Facebook group and then click Modern Mahjong. You can just click the event image, and then that will open. If you click see more, you'll see the registration, or I'll also just put this in the chat for you. You can click that to register and then just fill this out. these questions in here are required. What you can do is answer the questions. If you don't know the answer, just put thanks or thank you. So like here, how did you hear about us? MAHJLIFE, Michele Frizzell. Under visit the event tab, just put thanks. And then if you're not going to be in Florida, just say thanks. So anytime there's a red star there, it's required. Just put thanks in there if you don't have an answer. So please consider registering and come to this event. It's going to be a great time. I hope to see you there. Also, Friday night, we'll do the Simply Social Let's Play live stream, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you don't have anything going on Friday night, come hang out with us and we'll play Mahjong and socialize. So between now and the next time I see you, may all your picks be keepers. Thanks for coming to this Let's Play live stream. And if you're watching the repost, thanks for watching my videos. Mods, thanks for monitoring the chat. Please share about the MAHJLIFE YouTube channel with your friends. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.